Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Mindset Monday. I am here with my co-host Dave. Dave, how's it going, brother?
Great, brother. How are you, man?
Good. Very, very busy weekend. I had my team off sites,
Awesome.
so that was all Saturday. Then we did a lot of stuff around the house,
Good stuff.
like a ton of stuff, which is always fun to get ahead of all that, like all those things that have been bothering you for a little bit, you know. Um, but it takes up a lot of time, so it was a big work weekend for me, if you will.
Nice, man. Good
How
stuff.
about you?
It was good, man. We had a first time home buyer seminar on Saturday, some client stuff before that, and then my wife's 40th birthday on Saturday as well, man. So good time to get
21st birthday, you mean?
cares, man. We ain't gonna lie about that, man. One thing you can't stop, father time. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was good, man. I have some family, friends, and those closest to us, and yeah, man, it was a good weekend. My son balled out yesterday in flag football, and it's fun watching him come together in that as a little 6 year old. So, he's doing his thing, man. It was awesome. It was a good weekend.
Nice. Well, let's get right into it. I
Let's
think
go.
people very often confuse objectives or goals with plans. Okay. And the reason I want to talk about this on Mindset Monday is because it has everything to do with mindset, right? Your goal or your objective, your mission is always front and center for your team, right? And obviously, to hit that goal, you want to come up with a plan, and not only come up with a plan, but execute the plan and have something that's going to work for you day by day, essentially. Okay. What you have to get done today to hit whatever goal that is. And a lot of people wind up missing their goals. A lot of people wind up not getting what they want because, one, the plan may not have been executed on, or two, the plan wasn't good to begin with, and they just give up. Okay. This is a mindset thing, this is a culture thing. And in reality, most of the time, okay, when you're coming up, unless you are really, really detailed and skilled at making plans that are actually going to work and stick to it, most of the time you're going to have these speed bumps. Most of the time you're going to have things that drop off or fail at one point or another. And the reason I wanted to bring this up is because sometimes you just have to remember that, hey, why don't I reevaluate the plan with the mission, the objective still being what needs to get accomplished. So there's nothing wrong with readjusting. All right, I'll give you guys an example. We were going over our Q1 numbers versus what we laid out in our first offsite at the beginning of the quarter. Okay, very, very clear. We are year over year up 10%. However, year over year, not year over year, but compared to what we laid out, we're probably off about 20%, meaning we wanted to have a little bit more growth. Looking into everything further, okay, one of our programs was not doing nearly the revenue that we anticipated, which was term loans. And the reason that is because the market has changed for term loans. The market is much harder. The term loans are harder to get. They're raising guidelines, but all of our other programs are ahead of that. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because it's nothing to panic about. It's nothing to freak out about. First, we are still up 10% year over year. And second, it's an adjustment. Maybe the growth doesn't come from that one program. Maybe the growth comes from other programs and services that we offer. And so that was the message that I had for my team, right? And it doesn't excuse not uh, completing the objective. It doesn't, excuse not getting the goal or the mission. But what it does is it allows us to readjust, and that readjustment and that plan that is encompassing that readjustment has a much better chance of succeeding, right? So the mission's still there. We're still going to hit it. It's just of how are we going to approach it now that we see certain dynamics changing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, man. 100%.
All right. And you could break this down to fitness, faith, your family, anything. Finances, definitely. Personal finances, your business. And if by having that approach, you're way more likely to be successful.
I think it's important too, man. It's funny. I had this similar discussion with my cousin over the weekend. We were talking about breaking things down and how even fitness correlates to that. But besides having a clear objective and a concise written plan, sometimes take a step back. And this is something we were talking about too. Like, what got you there to that first level in the first place? And sometimes maybe you need to go back and readjust to that. There's a good podcast I was listening to recently. They were talking about levels. When you start from the foundation and come up through your business, sometimes it's okay to go back to that level if it was working. If you were doing something in grassroots, go back to that. If that was working and it got you that next level, hey, these things are going to change. You're talking about term loans, the dynamics of that. It's changing. So go back to what's working. And I think the important thing too is a lot of people, one of the best things that Brad and I always talk about is to reverse engineer everything. What's the end? Okay, what's the end goal in mind? And let's go backwards from there. Just get a benchmark at least. So within our company, it's called SAL. Right. And that's the focus on all of our activity. SAL stands for sales, affiliates, and leads. Right. So what was the target? Two primary ones are leads and affiliates because they create the sales. So what is the benchmark every single month? And if you do fall short, come at it again, keep going, turn it up. Or what do we have to readjust in order to get there if we're not hitting that goal? But I think people panic when they lose focus on certain things. Oh, a client said this, or the internet's out of the office, or this distraction happened. Keep that target right in there and continuously hit that. You got to stay focused on that. Focus on that task, and the results will just come. I think that's the simplistic way of keeping that straightforward, man.
Yeah. Because there's always going to be things that come up, right? It doesn't matter. And I truly mean this. It doesn't matter what plan you outline, because that plan is not, for the most part, it's not going to be dynamic enough to help you and to guide you with everything that is going to come up, especially if you're doing it the way we do it, where we outline the year, then the quarter, and then things within the quarter, what has to get accomplished. And what I've seen personally is without consistently updating the plan, you're doomed to fail, right? Because so many things can change from day to day. And so the best operators, or the people that hit their goals and their targets the most, understand this dynamic and understand how to readjust and how to go from, all right, this isn't working, to what would work. Okay. I think that if you guys can incorporate a little bit of that into what you're doing, you're going to be deadly.
Production, and always control your controllables.
Mm-hmm. That's the name of the game. So guys, I hope this helped you. Share this with someone that needs to hear it, like it, comment on it, please. We're trying to get these out to help as many people, one, avoid the mistakes that we've all made, and two, just put themselves in much, much better positions in life. All right, so we appreciate you. Dave, thanks for hopping on, and we'll see you on Financial Fitness Friday.
Appreciate it. Be great, y'all.